Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
How you doing, Dave?
Alright. Wee bit of cold.
Aye.
Just a wee bit.
You gonna fight it off?
Yes.
So, I mean, too much detail, but you said a few weeks ago that you were going down to Gretna. How's it been going up and down to Gretna for work?
It's been alright. It's quite hard work and just been staying away, Ken.
And you've been a regular on Football Daft. You had to miss it on that last week because of Gretna.
You nicked my spot, mate.
I did, aye. And Greta liked me, so.
I was going to say you were quite good in it.
Oh, thanks.
So, that'll be me plenty daft.
Aye. There'll be a plug for them. If anybody haven't checked it out yet, then Football Daft. I'm on for about 5 minutes talking about Hibs. So anyway, check that out. So, aye. You got your good weekend, quickly?
The weekend was good, aye. I had a sportsman's dinner yesterday.
Cool.
And Willie Young was kind of ref.
Oh, aye.
He was a speaker. He was quite funny.
Some good stories?
Aye, had a couple of good stories. To be honest with you, I was having a drink, so I'm not even just saying that. I know he was funny, but I couldn't really tell you.
Aye.
Do you think that's weird when you go and see like a comedian or something and you try and think, you're like, oh, he was funny, and you try to think back to jokes? Can't mind them. I'm the same. And then Saturday, we gave me football.
Oh, it's brilliant, eh?
Yes, much better. Night and day.
We'll get into the game more in a minute, but it was just fun again. It was really fun. Really enjoyed it.
Even the fans were singing. It just, and even though it was absolutely Baltic, it was good.
Aye.
Good all day.
Saturday morning, I went to a ball pit, a play area. You know, all the soft play. It was
I know what
brilliant.
ball pit is.
Aye. But my mate's kids, you know, he's about 2.5 or something, and we were in playing in the ball pit and stuff in the soft play. It was brilliant. You know, my leg's a bit knackered, but it just battered on. It was great. And we got there early, so there was hardly anybody there, so it was great, nice and quiet. Kind of make me.
It's big, like adult soft play areas should be made a thing.
Exactly.
Because they're brilliant.
They're so much fun.
I think the same about indoor water parks.
Aye.
I think there should be a massive indoor water park somewhere. Because water parks are brilliant.
Yeah, me and Craig were talking about it on the podcast a couple of weeks about Leith Waterworld. It was brilliant. Could really do with that back. Anyway, let's transition into Hibs. We'll kind of fire through the news. Quickly on today's show, we've got Mickey Weir joining us over the phone to obviously talk about the whole Hecky bottom and who he wants his next manager. So that's coming up in a bit. But firstly, just some quick bits of news. Kamberi's been called up to the Albania squad. So, you know, there was rumours of what are they called? Kosovo or something? Kosovo, the ones that played England recently. And then there was obviously Swiss. He's been at the under 21s and stuff there. So, but now he's decided to play for Albania and been called up for this international break. So good for him and good for the club.
Aye, but who they're playing France, eh?
Yeah, I think that's his first game. Aye, world champions, brilliant.
Yep, it's good. And then I'll add a bit of value to him too. International, blah blah blah. But it's good for him to. Just a wee bit of recognition.
Aye. But going into the last 18 months of his contract, so we'll need to keep an eye on that in terms of his value. Either get him to sign a new one, which would be ideal, or we're going to have to, because we're going to get in. It looks like we're going to get in our situation like McGinn. We're going into last year's contract next summer, so that's obviously not ideal. But it is what it is. And just on that, it's shite for the song. There's a striker, a big Albanian striker, just doesn't go as well.
Oh, but he is still Swiss.
True. Aye, we'll probably still sing that, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and on international call-ups, Martin Boyle's been called up to the Australia squad.
Oh no.
Too soon?
I'd rather he just didn't.
I know. I mean, you look at Tierney not getting called up to Scotland squad because Arsenal saying he's not ready yet. I know Boyle's very different injury and stuff, but surely we should kind of flex our muscle and kind of say, no, let's give him some time.
He maybe wants to go though.
I know, but you try to say Tierney doesn't want to play for Scotland.
Yes. Who does? Now it's like the way it is, everybody's dropping me like fleas and out, and it's the games that Scotland have got coming up. We're in behind to nothing. There's nothing. If we win, it doesn't matter. If we get beat, you get moaned at.
True.
That's the point.
And just on a bit of shitty news, Tracy's resigned as being the fans rep. She's been doing it for 2 years now or something, and kind of crap that fans moaning at her and some personal abuse just because the club aren't doing that well has resulted in her leaving.
Yeah, I know it's bad. Like,
yep,
people don't understand what the role is.
Yeah.
So they just use it as like an outlet for abuse. It's the exact same as like the social media guys getting abuse. And but there is a platform for people to go along and understand what the fans reps do. It's the working together meeting, but people don't go. Like there's like 30 people there and that sometimes
on a busy night.
And it just shows you what the guys do. And obviously Kieran's been good at putting updates out and that. But Tracy just like obviously gave me a lift home a couple of times and came on the podcast. She's just a nice woman, so it's just a shame. And her and her family are very Hibs orientated. Obviously her hubby's no, but it's just a wee bit of a shame. And
she's never stopped being a supporter, but we can definitely welcome her back to being a supporter again. I mean, she didn't, like I said, didn't stop, but now she can just concentrate on that, full stop, support her, nothing else. She can go to the games and no worries about folk coming up and balling her with questions and stuff. She just go to the game and enjoy the game. So yeah,
she probably realised now that there was a lot of people like obviously bothered. You know what I mean? Because she'll have had a lot of messages, so that'll probably feel quite comforting for her, even though she's had to sack it. So,
just overall thoughts of the good work she's done, and like I say, we've been working together. She's always sort of kept it.
Just done good. 3 years or something. She's done it.
Yeah,
started doing it with Frank, and then Kieran stepped in. So it'll be interesting to see if they bother putting another one in, or they just run with Kieran now, or
because I think she was meant to be here until May or something, but that's it's a shame she's gonna have to leave early, but I don't know if they'll do a thing where early or leave it to Kieran. I'd imagine they'll probably get somebody in. And finally, just a bit of brighter news, the Hibernian ladies have got their final league game of the season. It's on Sunday. Obviously no Hibs this weekend, so if you're needing your Hibs fix, get along to Station Park in Forfar for their last league game of the season, and of course the big game coming up at Tynecastle in the Scottish Cup final as well. So going for the quadruple double or something.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. But we'll do a bit more when that time comes as well. Right, so let's get on with the St Johnstone game then. Positives. I don't think there's even negatives to talk about. We conceded a goal. Negatives out the way. Done. Let's get on to the positives, because I have missed being so positive about Hibs, although folk will say I'm too positive about Hibs anyway. So let's start with Kamberi. Played a part in the first goal in Newell hitting the post, the second goal as well. What was your kind of thoughts on Kamberi?
He was cocky, wasn't he?
That swagger back.
He played with a swagger. He played with a, sounds so cliche, played with a big smile on his face, but he actually did though. You could tell he was up for it, and it was brilliant to see, because he was pulling the defenders about, but he was stretching the game, and then he just created chances for every other teammate, and you could see how much better he made the other players run about him, because we had a bit of creativity and somebody actually running off the ball. How many times you said that to me? We've been crying out for runs like that all season and balls like that down the line, and it caused St Johnstone problems. The right back had an absolute mare, but because Kamberi was so good. And
that's the thing, like obviously we've seen Heckingbottom chuck Kamberi out in the left wing.
Yep.
And you can maybe see where that logic has came from, because he drifts out there.
Yep.
But I think he's getting the freedom to drift out there, and if he's got somebody else in the middle, rather than just being stuck out there the whole game.
Yeah, no, you kind of almost had it was like he was a part of a two up front, but he was almost a bit more free, wasn't he? He was a bit more fluid where he was, and Doidge was very much sticking to like being our number 9.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Well, it was
worked brilliant.
We'll talk about more two up top in a minute, but let's talk about his strike partner more. Man of the match by everywhere you look, Christian Doidge. Let's start with the first one. Should he have taken the first chance he got?
Yes. But I'm not going to sit and be like, you should have finished that. At the end of the day,
my next question was going to be, if that was for his third, would he have put it away first time?
Yes.
Aye. He got a bit lucky that the keeper should have held his first shot, but it came back to him. He's chapped. You seen the big smile and his relief on his face when that went in, and I think he's needed that bit of luck.
Yep. And I was going to jump forward to the way of the post-match interview there, but
go for it.
No, just like when he's talking with Flo at the end, I think it's Kenny that's asking him questions.
It's a nice touch putting the two in together.
Aye, but he's like obviously everybody knows what Flo's like. Flo loves to be like the man. Do you know what I mean? So just
right.
I know, and I think that's brilliant. It makes me laugh. So the fact that he's like, "I didn't worry, Flo's already told me the part he played in my goals," and that laughing, and then Kenny's asking Flo to say something nice about Doidge, and Doidge just turns around and does that wee grin like at Flo, and that it's just brilliant. Like that's what you want to see. Like them, so good.
So where can Doidge go from here? Keith Robertson on Facebook asking if he could go on a scoring run.
Well, because that's all you need, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just need the floodgates hopefully open now. So.
Scott Allen, I mean, you mentioned I think at the game, sort of first half versus second half. So, what was your kind of thoughts on Scott Allen? First half, second half.
I thought first half he wasn't the best, if I'm being honest. I don't know why, but the second half of the first half, so I didn't think we were the best in general. We were under a wee bit of pressure. Yeah,
they came back into the game. It's kind of like I was kind of getting worried, like we're going back to the days of sitting on a 2-goal lead.
Yep, and I thought that obviously when we were sitting in and they had a lot of the ball, Scott Allen's not exactly the best off the ball, is he? So I just thought he didn't look that good. And then, but second half, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Everything like that we need, he was creating stuff, and he's got a wee turn of pace, isn't he? Like his first touch to take it round folk, and that was brilliant. And it just creates like chances, and then turns something into nothing into something like really quick.
I don't know the details, but it seems like Heckenbottom was a manager that gave his players a lot of instructions. Do you think it seemed like Scott Allen had a bit more freedom? He
did. Well, that's interesting you say that. I was going to say that he had a free roll too, almost, and it was Hallberg was like when you go, I'll kind of mop up, and then
Slavka doing the box to box.
Because he should have when for his goal, when he was running through, like we were like, play it, pass it. Just kept running. A boggy bastard. Like he should have passed it, but it was brilliant that he just got into the box. Don't know what St Johnstone's defence were doing like.
But you say that, I think you look at the two St Johnstone defenders, they were expecting that as well.
Yeah.
One stuck tight to Doidge, the other one stuck tight to Kamberi. It was a 3-on-2 situation, and Scott Allen was just like, "All right,
no, it was
you
genius.
guys stick with him, and I'll just go."
He took his opportunity. Like, I'd have panicked. Like, I'd have passed that like straight away. but
interception on the halfway line, and obviously well documented about his diabetes. I think Diabetes UK retweeted it today. Kind of it's a motivational Monday sort of thing. So great goal, and just great for Scott in general. Ian Marinello on Facebook said, 2 up top, we score 4 goals, 2 strikers play far better, helping each other out. Heckenbottom stifled the team with his negative attitude. Be positive and more results like this will come. So on that, obviously we played the Diamond at the weekend, it worked, we scored 4 goals. 3-5-2 has been mentioned by Stephen and Stuart on the podcast previously. How do we fit Scott Allen into the team, who likes to play in that free number 10 role, 2 strikers, and still incorporate Horgan, Boyle and Middleton?
That'll be difficult. Like, I don't think we should be tweaking how we played at the weekend to fit Horgan and Middleton though. Fair enough, Boyle, I think there's definitely should be a space in the team for him, but how do you do it without dropping, like, for example, Naismith, who had an absolute screamer, if we are going to play Boyle right wing back? Naismith was brilliant. He easily could have been man of the match. In fact, I'll go as far as to say him or Kamberi were my man of the matches. So I don't know what you do. I'm not a manager though, so I didn't need to try and work it out. But I definitely think that we shouldn't be changing that much for the weekend. I mean, looking at Horgan and Middleton, it's fair to say that, I'd like to see them get a bit more. Middleton's not even our player. I know. So we probably shouldn't be. So exactly, he needs to play his way into our team. No us bother about like his. What even would I say? I don't know what you're trying to say. Come on, Dave, you can do this. I can do it. Come on, the clogs are going. Words. His, I don't care. I'm not bothered about him.
Right, fair enough. That was really hard to get to.
Mate, my Rangers mate Hank was like, oh, you should be getting a game in that, like, and then going on about how bad Brandon Barker is. Right, we'll stay a swap then. Like, I'd happily swap.
Aye. The final product's been great this season, and I think there was, we're not going to play the diamond every single week because, I know you're saying earlier, about not sort of, or maybe you're saying later, depending on when I put in the interview with Mickey Weir. A bit behind the scenes there, about setting up against Livingston the way we do. We are going to have to change our formation depending on who we're playing and stuff. But so we're not going to play the diamond every week. But it was good to see Horgan coming on and playing that number 10 role. Middleton has played up front before for the Scotland under-21s. Boyle came on and played up front. So there's maybe a thing for them to kind of still get positions of the team, but maybe not in their first positions of wingers if we're going to be going for the populist formation.
But Halbert could play central with Allen, and Boyle could just be a right midfielder, for example.
So we play a flat 4-4-2.
We could play a flat 4-4-2.
Do you think Allen's got the defensive discipline to play as part of a 2, to play a box-to-box midfielder?
But it's like you're saying, it depends who we're playing. It does depend who we're playing. Right. I know, like, the kind of like teams that kind of want to come and sit in will maybe get a wee bit much of the midfield there because they maybe flood the midfield, but if you're just going to go attack at teams like that, for me, is like, as an attacking option is brilliant, and this is where we need to try and get Halberg, like, mould his game into just being a defensive midfielder, because I thought he was brilliant at the weekend, but I know that wasn't exactly what he was meant to be. So,
brilliant, so why not? But somebody that kind of benefited from playing a different position was Joe Newell, playing central midfielder. He said he's a central midfielder. We played him out in the left wing. Hamilton game's probably the only good game he's had this season up until Saturday.
Yeah, he was decent. I thought he had a couple of... for me, he should have closed the ball down a bit quicker or been a bit harder in a tackle, but he did nearly score twice. He hit the post in the first half. Good chance end of the second half as well. And I thought he was much, much better.
There was a couple of times as well where kind of from that left central midfield position he was drifting out to the left and putting crosses in for deep, and it was good seeing. On the other side, Slivka had a good game as well. So on that, Vela not even on the bench, Malin came on for the last 3 minutes or something. How do they get themselves back into the team? Stuart Wilson asking what do they have to do to work their way back into the team, and what do they have to show to the new manager?
For me, they've got to show that they care more than what they have been shown. It's fair enough you can ping one in for like 20-25 yards, but if you're not willing to close in a ball when the team's absolutely dying on a win in like the closing stages of that Livy game, then for me you didn't deserve to be on the park, and they're both exactly where they deserve to be now. And obviously they should get their chance to come back in if they're willing to kind of work for it, but they need to show that they are. I wonder if Vela was injured, because to be straight out the
was a strange
squad, a weird one. Squad. That's my West accent coming right out there, innit? Oof. Stevie
Malin on that. A view from the terrace on Friday night. For those who didn't see it, what kind of you got brought up? What kind of happened on it?
They didn't pull their punches. It was Joel Sked. They were doing a not for me, and Joe Sked very much said that Stephen Malin was not for him. Brought up the fact that he scores goals and he creates chances and that, but he basically said he was a shite bag. Said, I can't even mind how I'm paraphrasing in that, but he did, his exact words were shite baggery, and they kind of all had a wee laugh about it, and that's what they said. He just doesn't show enough effort, and I wouldn't have been want to watch that if I was Stephen Malin, like you said, tuning in for like a wee light Friday night evening, like, well, I'll stick this on. Nah, mate, turn it back off.
I think like he's not been helped. I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. There seems to be like since Lennon's came in, he's looked at Malin and went, right, okay, this is my replacement for Dylan McGeoch. Heckingbottom's kept that going. He's not suited to that position at all. At the same time though, he has to take, he's still only 23, 24 or whatever he is now. He has to take ownership and sort of develop and learn that position. There's been too many times where you see the clips where he's just he's jogging back, he loses his man. Simple things that just, you shouldn't have that. I understand it's not his natural position, but you've still got to have a defensive work rate, which he doesn't have to play those positions.
That's another thing that we're saying. He's basically, his defensive abilities are limited to none. Like, his awareness and that, and
how much of that can you teach to somebody that's, you
can teach effort. Like, if that one that they never closed down, and then you just kind of like jogging out to it, they know that he's maybe going to hit that for there. Just run and chuck your whole body at it, but he didn't. Like that's no Disney comfy playing out of position either. That's just a lack of commitment for the cause. And see, if I was Heckingbottom in that, I'd be raging, because wee things like that can turn a season around. We just needed a result in the league, and your players are not doing that for you. Says a lot, I think, about the management team.
And finally, I was listening to a Scottish football podcast, not one of the better ones that I mention on Twitter all the time, another one. And
so you're trying to say it was a shit podcast?
It was. I'm not gonna think with my punches. It was a rubbish podcast, because they started talking about Hibs. Obviously, Hibs and Hearts were the main talking point. That's one of the reasons I was listening. And they started talking about Hibs, and you could tell that they've only watched Hibs like once or twice this season. Once probably being the cup final, the cup semi-final against Celtic. And they slaughtered. They were saying about. I think they said about 5 players would, make it back into the Hibs team, and they said they tore up Tom James, and I'm like, well, they've not watched Hibs this season, because yes, the Hamilton game wasn't that great, and then again, obviously Celtic wasn't a great game, but overall, I think Tom James has been one of the better signings. Although Naismith, he's got that jersey now. Is Tom James what next for him, and is his best way into the team to try and maybe more compete with Lewis Stevenson rather than Naismith? If Naismith's going to sorry. Is his best way into the team with Naismith kind of having that jersey now more going to be trying to get maybe Lewis Stevenson's jersey?
Well, because he can play both sides. My fear for James is that we won't see him that much, because I don't think any manager will drop Lewis Stevenson just because the effort and that he puts in. Because that can never. I think ability wise, he is losing it a bit. He's a bit negative in that, but I kind of agree to a certain extent that maybe James will be more used on the left. Like I say, Naismith and Gray, it's going to be hard to get in front of the two in it. Yeah,
but I mean, I think other than a couple of games which haven't been that great, I think overall he's had he missed a big chunk of the season, came back in. I think he was, although we weren't winning games, I think he was a big part of the whole. Going unbeaten in 6.
There's been quite a few games where he's been really poor. I think he's been either really poor or really good.
Yeah, Kilmarnock in the cup, he was brilliant.
Yep.
Him and Port just had really good working together and really sort of. But like say we talked about the Hamilton game, the amount of times him and Stevenson both gave away with the ball. I think it was 31 times or something between the two of them. Really careless in possession that game. Celtic game, Celtic kind of picked on him and he got tore up.
Yeah,
for arse paper. Aye. So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see. But overall, thoughts on the game then? Just finishing up, what do you think?
Absolutely brilliant. I would have that every day of the week.
Of course you would. We scored 4 goals.
Well, shut up. You asked me what I thought. Okay. But it's also good that St Johnstone used to be our bogey team. No anymore. Like, that's quite a nice feeling.
So to finish, I think we're going to do a new thing since we'll also do the 3-word review. Your 3-word review to finish up the game.
Oh, you never even asked me about this.
Okay, I'm going to tell you mine, because
right.
I got in the paper with mine.
You did, aye.
So obviously 350,000 was in numbers, so that's not a word.
Right.
So 350k equals money well spent.
Right.
That was mine. I got in the paper for it. So, well, not the paper. It was the Edinburgh Evening News article on the website. So, but I'm saying the paper.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling my granny.
Nicked it. Right, you're going to tell your granny you're in the paper.
I already have.
Have you? Genuinely.
Right, your 3-word review to finish up.
Oh,
come on, you've had like 40 seconds to think about it.
I didn't have one.
You said absolutely brilliant a minute ago. You'll need one more word.
Absolutely brilliant performance. There you go.
So joining us on the line now to discuss the managerial department and potential new manager is ex-Hibby and Hibs legend Mickey Weir. How you doing, Mickey?
I'm fine, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing well.
I'm
doing
good,
well.
mate. Cheers.
So, I mean, getting to it then, obviously the decision to let Hecky go, what was your kind of thoughts on that?
Well, you're never ever. It's never nice to hear a manager losing his job, but it's unfortunate in football when you start to lose games, as we've been doing. And the performances haven't been of what's expected at Hibs, then you're always going to be under pressure. But in saying that, I think the decision to sack him was probably the right one, because it's down to results really, and the performances the players were putting in weren't good enough for the expectations of the club. And as I say, I don't like seeing managers losing their job, because it's difficult. I know it's a difficult gig, it's a difficult situation that managers get themselves in by losing games, but unfortunately that's the way of the world.
Yep. So, what was your overall thoughts on his reign as Hibs manager? If you were to kind of sum it up.
Yeah, well, I think when he first came in, he steadied the ship a bit. To give him credit for that, he really steadied the ship, because I think we were struggling at the time he came in. And credit to him, he did get us going a wee bit. A couple of good results, obviously at Tynecastle, and he made us look like a team again. But I just don't think we carried it on this season. I think we started very negatively, and we just looked like a team that were happy to get a point here and a point there, and that doesn't suit the Hibs style. But in saying that, I think a lot of the players that he brought in, he took the time to get going. I think he had about 3 or 4 games at the start of the season where he never really had his side out. And when he put the players that he expected to do better, they failed really, never done well enough for him, and he started to feel the pressure of that,
And a couple of those new signings definitely put in a better performance on Saturday. What was your kind of thoughts on the result and the performance against St Johnstone?
No, it was I thought they played really well, but I think it's no coincidence that if you play 2 up front, that sometimes makes you better, and I think the big lad Christian Doidge he's been crying out that for weeks. I've always thought to myself, he needs a partner up there. And to be fair to the coaching staff who are there, they did that, made a few changes, and the players looked to play with a lot more freedom, and played like themselves, a few of them, and thoroughly deserved the result.
So, do you think the next manager, if he was watching that game, will take that away for that game? If he's been watching Hibs the last few months and he's watched that, do you think he'll be like, oh, maybe 2 up front does suit them best?
Well, every manager's got their own ideas about the game. I've never ever criticised managers for what they want to do. That's a prerogative. If they want to go and play with 1 up front, 2 up front, it's really down to what they think. But I think you've got to be adaptable. Sometimes you've got to look at the team you're playing against and say, could we cause them problems with playing 2 up? And I think that's exactly what they did at the weekend. I think St Johnstone have lost 2 good experienced centre halves over the past couple of years, and it showed. And I think we should have done the same at Easter Road when we played them. So no, I think that's the key of it, is getting the best out of the players that you've got.
It's just when you say they're adapting to styles and the teams you play against, though. And it was weird that Heckingbottom was adapting to playing against Livingston at home, for example. He's setting up for Livingston's strengths, and that Livingston should be bothered about us. We shouldn't be bothered about. Do you know what I mean? In a respectful way.
Yeah, that's a disappointing thing. I think that's something they maybe look back and they maybe learn from. That looking at opposition, I think they gave teams too much time to settle into the game. As you say, I was at the Livingston game. To be fair to the players, on the second half, I thought they were outstanding. I thought they could have won the game.
Yeah.
But it was only really when they went for it, and I'm thinking, well, why not do that at the start? Just get them under pressure, put them under pressure from the start, and it could have been a lot better result for us. But I think overall, if he looks at it going back the way, I think he'll look and go, well, maybe I should have changed things, and maybe I should have been a bit more offensive in his style. And that's hopefully through time, that's what he does learn.
Right, let's get to the juicy question. Let's get to the one everyone wants to hear. Who do you want as the next manager?
Well, Gav, you know my feelings about Hibs. I always think that it's really down to the owner. It's down to the owner. It's down to what he feels and what he's prepared to put into the club. But I'm a supporter who's been watching Hibs since I was day one, and I'm used to having a really good setup at Hibs. I'm used to us always being there or thereabouts trying to get Europe. And if we want to get the supporters back on side and trying to get the club lifted, to another level, then we've got to appoint someone who's got the experience, who could spend, if there's going to be money available, we'd be very, very confident in spending money wisely and taking our club to another level. And I think that the man I would go for is Gordon Strachan.
Aye.
Because I think Gordon Strachan's got all the experience, and I would have someone beside him who maybe could learn from him and get a wee formula that's going to work for the next 4 or 5 seasons, rather than getting rid of a manager every 2 years. I think we need to get a manager such as Strachan. I would give him maybe a 2-3 year contract and say, you know what, let's build the club now. Get somebody beside him who can learn from him, because he's a very, very experienced manager. I think he's got a feeling for the Hibs, and that's me. I'm maybe away out the league. I'm maybe thinking a wee bit too far, but that's the way I look at it. I think Hibs are a big club, and I think they deserve a big manager and a big name.
Do you think he'd leave his sort of position as a sporting director, whatever it is, at Dundee to get back into the nitty gritty and a day-to-day manager and all the stuff that comes with that?
Well, you can only ask a question. The people that be at Hibs can only ask a question: would you be available? Would you be happy enough to come to Birmingham Football Club? Mm-hmm. But don't ask, you don't get. So I'm not saying he would. I don't know what his situation is at Dundee, Gordon, but knowing of him, I know he's a great coach, and I know that he would get players. I think you've got to remember, you're dealing with a man who's done it all. He's managed at top level, he's played at the top level, he's won things, and you can only learn from these people. And to think that, he's just a wee bit too old, this is what I hear all the time, he's just a wee bit too old, these managers. That's a nonsense for me, because I was always told, the only thing that beats experience is more experience. And I think Gordon Strachan would be the person that I would go for. If the match, but it's all down to the owner, it's all down to his ambitions, what he feels we should be doing with Hibernian Football Club.
Well, that's probably a great way to finish that there. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us, Mickey.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, as the podcast is approaching 100 episodes, we've talked about this before and kind of never really pulled the trigger on it. We would like to do more with Hibs Talk than just the podcast, but I mean, we're limited with time, we're limited with what we can do, and I think we want to be able to concentrate on the podcast as well and don't want to be pulled too thin. I mean, I kind of spent the summer setting up the website and started we did start doing articles, but I didn't have a clue what I'm doing with it, so I don't think it could have been. I think it could have been better. So basically, what we're kind of putting out a call to arms is we're looking for people to get involved, and we don't necessarily mean with directly the podcast, but I mean if you're involved, then there's no harm in coming on. I think, but so there's we're not saying, Dave, I'm rambling here.
Yeah, but Gav wants somebody to run Instagram.
That's
just and do some videos and that for YouTube, and that'd be brilliant. So if you want to do that, fire your CV in and an example of your work, and we'll get back to you.
Aye.
Is that all you want to say?
And someday,
it can't be cringy.
Ideally, someday to run the website as well. Kind of chase folk up for articles. We've got people that are willing to write articles and stuff, but there's no reason why we can't get more people involved. Make it a platform for all Hibs fans to write articles or to voice things. But so we're looking for somebody to kind of head up the website, somebody to head up the YouTube, and somebody to head up Instagram. But that could be multiple people working together and stuff. But it's not just a case of dropping us an email and you kind of got to say what you're going to bring, what your ideas are and stuff. We're keen to kind of do more with the platform we've got and kind of expand and kind of let us concentrate on the podcast, because I love doing the podcast and I don't want to be worrying about a website and doing the work that I could be doing for the podcast.
Fair.
But yeah, so we're approaching 100 episodes. We're going to need to get something sorted for that soon. It's only like 5 weeks away.
If you, in an ideal world,
no John McGinn.
Yeah, John McGinn would be the best thing ever. Oh, I didn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I think I would get a fright. Stage fright.
I thought you were going to wait say you get a stiffy.
No, I would that standard. But I what would I even say to him, man? And that's that weird thing again, because he's not a Hibs player. So yeah. Why would that bothered? But you heart of work Twitter once.
And if you are dropping us an email, feel free to drop us ideas for the 100th episode, because we could do with some ideas.
It's gonna be me, you, and Stephen probably
Talking about the game before,
moaning,
and the game
moaning
after.
at getting beat off Hamilton at home. That'll be a standard. Aye, I'll have a think.
We'll get something sorted. But yeah, so HibsTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a message if you're interested in getting involved and helping out in some way. According to the bookies, because the bookies know everything, the two managers at the top are Jack Ross, current favourite, and I think this is just because he's at the game, but I've made you do your homework anyway, and it is
Harry Kewell.
Yes, so let's start with the favourite then. I'll go through Jack Ross and kind of go through his career so far and just sort of a couple of things that I've kind of picked up. I'm not going to lie, the majority of them are for Wikipedia. So he started his coaching career as an assistant at Dumbarton, and he also had a year as a coach at Hearts. It was believed that he was going to get the manager's job eventually. He was going to be part of their sort of building coaches to become managers and stuff, but they've chucked that philosophy out the window now. It appears now. But he got appointed the Alloa manager in December and got relegated with Alloa. So not...
This is all very fantastic so far, but he gets relegated with Alloa and he's a dirty Hearts. and
then he left the club second in League One in his second season. And in October, that was only in October though, and he joined St Mirren. He avoided relegation with St Mirren. And then in the 17-18 season, got manager of the year and won promotion. He left the club with a win percentage of 52%.
That's fantastic.
And then he took over Sunderland, a win percentage of 50%. Left the club 6th in League One after getting beat in the playoff finals the year before. So there was an article by the SAFCblog.com, so Sunderland Athletic Football Club blog. They kind of done a bit on Jack Ross and the fact that he's been linked with Hibs and stuff. I think their title was a bit misleading. I think it was something like Jack appointed as Hibs manager, ? But anyway, he is the favourite after all. They kind of went through some of the stuff, so just sort of some of the stuff they're saying. They felt that the jump from Sunderland, from St Mirren to Sunderland was probably a bit too big, and he ultimately failed because a deflected 96th minute goal at Wembley. I still think he'd be in charge if they got promoted, but we'll wait and see. Obviously, that's you never know. They were talking about the positives. He came into a really, shitstorm and steadied the ship. There was really some, players on big wages that shouldn't be there, players with bad attitudes and stuff. He got the dressing room sorted. He's apparently a really nice guy, but so was Heckenbottom, so that's not going to get him far. And on to the negatives, too many draws. So 19 draws. That's a lot.
Yep.
Something we've seen, with Lennon in the Championship. We still got a flop, but a lot of draws. Stubbs, a lot of draws. Do you want another manager that's going to have a lot of draws?
No.
Hecky towards the end of his reign.
I'm more concerned about Jack Ross is that he didn't play McGeoch that much.
Yeah.
And McGeoch's absolutely brilliant. So if you can't recognise the pure brilliance in McGeoch, then...
Would you worry that a Jack Ross appointment would slim any further chances or hopes of McGeoch returning?
Or do you think he would maybe be like, take a couple of players for Sunderland?
Maybe. Don't know.
Kind of fringy ones.
But would McGeoch... I mean, I know McGeoch's probably no rush to come back because he's desperate to make it down south and stuff, but if he was to come back to Hibs, would he reconsider it if he's got a manager that wasn't playing him at Sunderland?
Yeah, good point. Don't know. Do you want Jack Ross?
I'd get behind him, but I'd be a bit underwhelmed. I think there was a lot of excitement when he was at St Mirren, and he was talked about as like the next Aberdeen manager and one of the most exciting managers in Scottish football and stuff. And I think he was even linked to a Scotland job at one point and stuff. But it just seemed a bit early, and I worry that it's just a hype.
But he didn't actually fail at Sunderland when you think about it.
Well,
obviously, he never got them up.
The budget they've got, he never got them up. They came finished 4th or something like that.
But how do you go into a club who's just been relegated and they are an absolute mess? And how can you be expected to fix that and then take them up straight away?
Money.
But they're well on course to going up this season.
But a new manager.
No, but they panicked.
Do you think?
Aye. They were only a couple of points off second spot when they got sacked. There was Hull Lane in it. And he didn't lose that many games. I know there was a lot of draws in that, but...
as the article says, 19 draws. If you turned 9 of them into wins, they would have romped the league by like 20 points.
It's just the style of football. I can't go along and sit and be bored again. It's been happening for too long now.
It's apparently, I mean, I don't know, I've not seen much Jack Ross football, only sort of against him in the Championship. Apparently quite methodical and stuff.
Right.
And we've been through that. I want the passing, the moving, the tempo.
Well, I know what you want. I want that tape. So
I don't know if I want it, but I'd get excited.
No, I definitely want it.
I'd be worried. Let's not lie. Let's just quickly talk about John Collins. I love the guy. I think he's got all the right ideas on football, but he had a good spell with Hibs as manager. He signed some really bad players, so don't put him in charge of signings. But then, he went to Belgium and done average. He was assistant manager at Celtic under Ronnie Dyler reign that wasn't looked on too fondly. I think he would learn lessons and stuff from mistakes he maybe made first time at Hibs, but he's been kind of out of the game a bit, out of the management. Yeah,
and I was talking to my papa about this, and my papa thinks that he's maybe a bit just too all about him. Like,
would you know he'd learned from making that mistake last time?
Possibly. But I think, see somebody that has got really strong ideas in that, and then they're like, no, I want this to happen. I sometimes don't think that's a bad thing.
Would you get excited about John Hughes as assistant manager with John Collins as manager?
I would like that. I don't think John Hughes would take an assistant manager role.
But at the same time, I mean, obviously, we're talking about John Collins being it for ages. I think one of the reasons, John Hughes is not in the running at all for the manager's job is because he has...
What do you mean he's not in the run? He's like third favourite.
I don't think John Hughes is...
I know, but I'm just saying he's like according to the bookies.
What was his last job? Wraith Rovers or something? He got sacked by Wraith Rovers.
Yeah, I'm just... If you want to go... If we're doing this off bookies odds, he's third favourite.
Is he?
Aye.
Okay.
He's at 10-1.
I can't see it. Anyway, so somebody that was at the game, I honestly think he's just high in the bookies because he was at the game.
Yep.
Might have got an interview, I don't know. But what have you kind of found out about Harry Kewell? Make me excited about Harry Kewell as potential Hibs manager.
Well, I've actually not even showed you these. I've just done it. We've not spoken about this.
Come on, tell me.
This is the first time.
Should
it's going to be genuine.
Should I get excited?
No.
Oh.
I'm not that excited unless you are happy with a win ratio of 31.6% when he was at Crawley.
Wow.
But Crawley are not the best, and they basically had to just keep them up. So he managed to finish 14th with Crawley.
Why did he leave Crawley? Was he sacked or was he...
No, he was poached
off
Notts County, and people were surprised that he left Crawley, but the fans weren't like happy he had left, but they weren't like raging because then I took a direct quote. Apparently the style of play was less than inspiring. So it's kind of maybe exactly what we're just talking about, something watched for the past few months, but at the same time it's Crawley Town, and since he's left they've 19th in the league, so they're in a worse off position than when he went, and they were scathing relegation and that for the few seasons before. And then he takes them to 14th, so actually when you look at it, it's not bad. But I got him the Notts County job, right? Now I'd love to say it gets better, but it doesn't. So his win ratio at Notts County was 21.4%.
Oof.
He was only there for 14 games. Only won 3 of them. 3 of them came on the bounce. He didn't win in his first 5. Won 3 in a bounce. Then go beat these next 8, or didn't win his next 8. Replaced Kevin Nolan, who was having a tough time with it too. And even after Harry Kewell left, they didn't get any better, and they end up getting relegated straight out of the league and at the conference. And when he left, they were 3 points above it, so he didn't actually take them down because they pressed the panic button early doors. He only lasted to the end of November, so that's him been out of work for an entire year now. But goal difference wise,
does this team score goals?
No. Yeah, we've got minus goal differences both teams, but that's when you have to look at it, be Crawley and Notts County, what resources do they have? But I think when I first heard about the Harry Kewell thing and we were at the game and that, and then I went back to my mate's house. One of the things we were talking about, I was like, I don't actually think he'll get it, but he'll maybe he'll maybe have good connections, being like a big name in football, won the Champions League and all that, and I was like, oh, maybe he'll maybe have connections in that, but obviously no, because he's not exactly succeeding, he's not done anything, so, and he's done pretty much nothing, I don't think, since.
That's always tricky because, you know, you could be really negative and then a new manager could get appointed and it's the one you've just been negative about and you've got to be positive then. But I would be really underwhelmed if we got him. Reading, like, this is the Hibs job, for Christ's sake. We should be attracting big names.
Harry Kewell is a big name.
As a player, no as a manager. And I'm sorry.
So would you want a name or somebody...
I want somebody that's proved himself with a better track record than that. That is a horrendous track record. If he goes, I think for him to get the Hibs job, he would have to go and get, you know, a League One or Championship job and, you know, stabilise somebody like, I don't know, like, that are kind of struggling in the Championship and get them mid-table. That would sort of have to be the record. I think we have to be looking at somebody that's that calibre rather than somebody that's bloody been fighting out in League Two.
Yeah, I was reading an article and the article was basically saying that the way forward for Harry Kewell maybe would be to be an assistant somewhere for a bit under a good manager and then go back into management, because I think there maybe is something there. But somebody needs to give him a chance, whether it's going to be us. But you didn't get, unfortunately, and we're Scottish football, like, we're not going to get somebody who's a massive name that's had a good track record in football. They're going to have to have done something wrong for them to come to us and use us as a stepping stone. That's what I think. That's just the reality of it.
Is there any names looking at... So, I mean, you're kind of... First, I guess we've just spoke to... I'll put this in before, don't worry. We've just spoke to Mickey about his sort of reactions to Hecky going. You weren't here last week. What's your kind of just brief reactions to Hecky going, firstly?
I'm happy he's away. I listened to the podcast last week and I completely agree. All the abuse and that, no big fan of that, but he did have to go. And it should have happened ages ago.
Do you think?
Is that a sarcastic question?
I think the club are right to give him a run of games or on fixtures.
Nah, I think he should have got sacked at least 3 weeks ago. Probably straight after the derby.
But after the good start last season.
It was too toxic. And then, what's the point in giving him the semi-final when you knew we were going to get beat? And then, so he gets sacked after a semi-final performance against Celtic. What were they expecting? Sack him before it and maybe see if there's a bounce.
Do you think, like I say my question I asked Stephen last week, do you think he would have got sacked if Boyle had put that chance wide?
Yes.
And
they should have. Or if the thought process behind the club was, like, he's got us to the semi-final, so he deserves a chance to get to a final, and then what would have happened if we beat Celtic?
He'd still be in charge.
I know, but it's not. But it's against Celtic.
Yeah.
To me, that's not a game that a Hibs manager should be judged on. I know the performance was dead limp and there was basically no fight, but I don't know. But he shouldn't be like given that just because he's got us there. In my opinion, who's going to come in and want to take over? I suppose, but you could have got Eddie Mayer that to take it and just wait and see. But it's like he's just been like, right, you've took this as far as it can go. You're going down with it. It's just a shame.
Fair enough.
Shite.
So, looking at other names, I mean, we've talked about John Collins. We've mentioned the two favourites. Who do you want? If you were in charge, who would you be going after? Your first choice?
I'm just going to stick with what I had wanted originally. I'm just going to stick with Alan Stubbs.
You want Stubbs back?
Yes.
Are you not worried about his...
No.
Are you not worried about his two managerial stints since he left the club?
No.
Why not?
Because Rotherham are shite. They've always been. Should never have been in the Championship where they were, and they probably won't be for a while. And he was on a hiding to nothing gone there. St Mirren sacked him after 4 games?
Yeah, something like that.
It's just stupid. That to me is just, how about you meant to do? And he won one of them, did he know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he did. So, nah.
But there was the League Cup was taken into consideration with that as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so
I would take Collins as well though, and I'd take.
What would be the thing you never go
I
back?
would take Jack Ross. You never go back. I said this on Football Daft. How do you not go back? Of course you go back. So like, you get a good curry. That's what I said. You get a good curry for an Indian restaurant. You go, I'm going to go back and get that curry again. That was class. You didn't go, I'm not going back in case that curry's shit. You go back and get the same curry.
Right.
And it might be just as good as the last time you were there. And then it becomes your favourite curry ever. And then there's like a statue of that curry outside your house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do a big Alan Stubbs statue and get him to come back and just let him manage the club forever. And imagine just singing Stubbsy, Stubbsy all the time.
Aye.
I'd love that. I'd never be called at the football because I'd just be permanently standing up singing that.
Fair enough. You want Stubbs back? Okay. So let's, before we finish up with room 1902, then we've kind of gone over the managerial chat. We've had Strachan calls from Mickey Weir. We've had Stubbs calls from you. We've kind of went over the favourites. So let's finish up with some questions on and then we'll do room 1902 to finish
Go,
up.
fire.
Okay, so opinion on Flo getting called up for Albania. We've already covered that, but that was from Luke Wilson. And Stephen Hibs has said, get Ron Gordon on the podcast. Met him on Saturday. I'd be up for getting him on.
If we find them.
No, I think that I mean, we'll try, but I can't.
I'd be nervous.
Aye.
Have I ever spoke to a millionaire? No. Ask John McGinn for a photo. That's about the most expensive person I've ever spoke to in my life.
I met Tom Farmer.
Oh, that's nice.
Aye. That was weird. That was only a few months ago. It was when the takeover was announced.
Maybe we should make 100 episodes. Get Ron Gordon on.
I could do. Aye. We need to do something special for that. Okay, so Tom Malnair. Sorry, I probably ruined that. Can we get the top 6 this season?
Yes.
Aye, we're only what?
Couple of points off it.
Aye, 2 points off Ross County or something, and 6 points off Kilmarnock. Aye, Kilmarnock, we're coming for you. So we've already covered Stuart's question. Realistically, where do we aim for in the league? That's from Mako Yoon.
I would still aim for Europe. No, I don't think. It's mental what a wee win does, and then a change.
Nick Crawley's asked, do you feel that the team was being held back by the outgoing coach, or was it more of a sort of new manager bounce, not a new manager bounce, but manager gone bounce on Saturday?
Yeah, I would say been held back.
Fair enough. We covered Ian's question earlier. Pearson's question is who's the new manager? # not Kewell. So somebody not wanting Harry Kewell. I'm on board with that.
Well, I'd love to Harry Kewell to get it now, and you've got to go along to the press conferences.
Awkward. And James is looking at the bookies. Who do you put your head on and who do you put your heart on?
I think it will be Jack Ross.
Right.
And my heart is with Stubbs forever.
I tell you what, Steve Clark's been narrowed down to 15-2.
Has he?
Aye.
Deary
on
me.
Paddy Power. Henrik Larsson 12-1. What was your thoughts on that? A bit more, because I asked Stephen this last week and I got like 2 word answers. It's just no.
That's not like Stephen. Stephen's normally very, very good with his answers, and you know what I mean.
So thoughts on Henrik Larsson? Quickly get a bit more on that.
Nah. That was a joke. Henrik Larsson's kind of the same as Harry Kewell in the sense that big football name, but kind of what's he done? But somebody's going to take a punt on him.
Okay. And quickly, I mean, he's been mentioned. So Stephen Robinson.
Nah.
I'll tell you what. I'd love Stephen Robinson. I think you do what you've got at your disposal, and I think I think you're writing off that he could play an exciting style of football just because his Motherwell team's not playing that.
I was going to say, there's a bit of an arrogance when it comes to picking a football manager, innit? Because you didn't want a manager for like say Motherwell and that, because you're like, no, he's only the Motherwell manager. You do want like a big shiny name.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd take him, but that's probably more of a heart than head. I can't see that happening. Head, I think it's going to be Jack Ross. Aye. So North East Scotland Highways. With new players such as Doidge and Naismith showing their qualities over St Johnstone, how many more new signings will come good? Were we too quick to write them off? Gav exploited from this question because he remained too positive. So just all you, Dave.
Well, aye, you're too right to write them off. You can't write them off during the first set of fixtures. But at the same time, I think... Who do I think? Who we got? Vela. I think he's alright, but I don't think there's enough there. Who else have we got? Newell.
James, we talked about earlier.
Newell's been written off like far too early.
Doidge was written off.
But it's got a lot better. Maxwell is a weird one because he's like bottom of the league, and when you look at all the stats for like goalkeeping, doesn't he really? Obviously, with our goals not been getting peppered, so he's not had a lot of saves to make, but he does concede when there is an effort on goal. And Hallberg's been brilliant. I think
class, best signing.
But I don't think he's been written off though. I think he came in and just everybody just took to him straight away. But that's what you get. See, if you just put a bit of effort, and the fans see that and they like that.
So talking about effort, we've talked about it kind of a bit already, but Chris Ward says, what effect will benching Malin have? So I mean, we've spoken about the effect on Malin and what he's trying to do to get back in, but what about the style of play? What did you notice the difference? Because Malin's played every game this season and then he was on the bench. What did you notice in terms of style of play? So Chris Ward's asking that question.
I thought it was quicker. But that is because there was a couple of players had a free role and the style of play wasn't as rigid. I think you stick Malin and Allen together, then it does become a bit more like the two of them are kind of like, how do I even word this? They're similar, aren't they? So I don't think it doesn't flow as well.
Chris has also asked a similar question to before. Is Saturday's performance a bounce after the manager going, or a true indication of how the team can play when managed properly and in the right formation?
We weren't mucking about with the ball at the back as much. The ball was going forward quicker. We were putting St Johnstone under pressure. Like, we were pegging St Johnstone back and they're in half for a change rather than teams pegging us back. But 2 goals in the first 20 minutes is going to let you do that, innit? So
yeah. And final question here is from Scott Mitchell. Why did the chorizo pie lack chorizo?
Didn't have it, mate.
Nah.
I had a Scotch pie and it had Hunter's Scotch in it.
I did think about the chorizo pie, but I done a Stevie Malin and I shot it last minute. Last minute. I was ready to say it and I was like, hey, can I have a steak pie, please? Yeah.
And how was your steak pie?
It was fine.
Yeah, my mince pie was alright at best. Why are pies so bad at football but cost like double the price of a half decent pie anywhere else?
Still though, the Killy pie, like, I exceeded my expectations.
I didn't have it.
Oh, missed it. It was like, it's as if like they'd taken the lid off the pie and then got like a wee bit of gravy, not enough to make it like soggy and drip out, but the right amount of gravy, and put it in and then stirred it all in and then put the lid back on top. It was just, it was perfect.
I had an Empire biscuit for Kilmarnock, which had the Hibs crest in it, which I hope they got permission to use, obviously. Standard, because you need permission to use the Hibs crest. I'd be disappointed if they didn't, and I hope that there's some following up on the back of that. But it tasted nice. A nice jam to icing ratio.
Still not a co-op.
Nah, the one for co-ops. Aye.
Class. Can't be in a co-op Empire biscuit. So let's finish up with Room 1902. If you've not ever heard Room 1902 before, it's basically where we take things that we do like about Scottish football or Hibs and we put it in Room 1902. It's basically Room 101 or Football 101. Somebody else's idea, but we're kind of putting a Hibs spin on it. And so far in Room 1902, the first thing to go in there was the Cup Hoodoo, hence the name. We've also put in Seagulls. We've put in, last week we put in the purple away kit being used as a goalkeeper top because it drives me crazy. I put up a poll on Instagram and on Twitter and that one, so that's in. Sports scenes went in there. There's a couple other stuff.
Illuminous football taps.
They went in there as well, didn't they?
That was
no, they didn't get voted for.
It didn't get voted for.
I can't mind. I'm not gonna. My memory's not that great. Anyway, Dave, what are you going for this week?
So this week, it's a bit different. It's quite topical.
Right.
I am going to put in Craig Levein. And there's a reason for that. It's because I feel sorry for him. And the Scottish Cup's in there. He's never won anything. So he gets to go and sit with the Scottish Cup. And I think that'll be dead nice for him. Just as a wee... I think that's Hibs class, personally. Mikey Stewart's in there because he's in sports scene,
Uh-huh.
and I know that he loves Mikey Stewart. Him and Mikey Stewart are best pals, so I think that'd be dead nice for him as well. And that's why I want Craig Levein to go in it.
Aye. Well, the Scottish Cup's not in there. The Cup Hoodoo's in there.
Is it no?
No,
I bet it is in there.
Why would we put the Scottish Cup in there? Well, we want the Scottish Cup outside of 1902.
Right.
Is that kind of Scottish?
Well, I've misunderstood the question.
That's alright. It's your concept.
It is my concept.
But you're
So am I allowed to put him in it?
Aye, you can if you want. So you're voting for Craig Levein?
Yep. I need a different reason though.
No, it's fine, just fine. You want him to go play with Michael Stewart.
Aye.
And do you think that he's done in management in Scottish football now?
Where is he going to go?
So yeah, that's another reason for putting him in.
Yeah.
He's done for Scottish football.
It'd be interesting. He'd probably end up following the same path as like Peter Houston or something and be a Falkirk manager in a couple of years.
Maybe.
No, give me even more reason to hate Falkirk. Can't stand him. It's
So
mental how much we hate Falkirk. Yeah.
it is, eh?
I'll stick Falkirk into
Aye.
fucking 3 stands, man. That shouldn't be allowed 3 stands. A football stadium should be 4 stands, shouldn't it?
No.
It should. No, but we were sitting talking about this, but no big stands because like St Johnstone's was empty
Uh-huh.
and Livy's is empty all the time.
Aye.
But it should have 4 stands. It should have something.
Fair enough.
But they have cranes in the corner of their stadium and that. They take like hot tubs up and like you can watch the game for a crane or you can win a competition.
I do believe that. You'd fall out the hot tub.
No for the hot tub. You can watch the game. Aye, so I should have said these are 2 different things. You can watch the game for a hot tub at the corner of the grun. Right? That's true.
Okay.
So you're sitting there in your swimmies, right, with a wee glass of champagne, watching Falkirk versus I don't know who. Or
Airdrie.
you can go up in a crane and watch it for a crane.
I thought you
See
meant
how
like the
bad it
hot
is.
tub was hanging
Suspended from the crane.
Aye. I was like,
That would be more interesting. Aye. But they're just a fucking. I can't stand Falkirk.
fair enough. I don't think you're alone in that. I think there's a lot of Hibs fans that have no time for Falkirk. I am going to put forward this week. This is more of a general football thing rather than a Scottish football thing. Why, when a player dives in the box, does the referee either not? I think one of two things has got to happen. If the player goes down in the box, either a penalty's got to be given, or the player's got to be booked for diving. Why, when players go down in the box, the referees say play on, and then when the ball goes out of play, no book the player for diving?
Don't know. You need to give me an example of when this has happened.
So I can't think of an example. Say for example, James Forrest is going into the box. It happened at Easter Road.
Uh-huh.
The foul wasn't given, but he's going down, so he's either been fouled or he's looking for a penalty. So you either book him for diving or you give the penalty.
Yeah, I think that is might be a rule, no.
Why is it no harm?
Bad refereeing, mate.
It's all the time. The amount of times like, right, get up, and they book them.
So you should be putting in Scottish referees.
That's too vague. No, because
Vague.
We've got to keep this thing going. We can't put Scottish referees in, and then that's it. We can't come back to referees because they're already in there.
How bad? You
I'm
could
getting
put Scottish
specific
referees
to
in
drag
because
this 1902.
Dallas at the weekend, Andrew Dallas, he was awful.
What game was that?
Your game.
Was he?
Aye.
I was too busy celebrating
So
all the
he could-
goals, mate.
He could be away in. Mind the Slavka jumped that tackle.
Oh, aye, that was bad, aye.
Aye, guy got absolutely wet to wipe him out. Doesn't he jump the tackle? He's done.
Mm-hmm.
But then Slavka, because he jumped the tackle, didn't get the ball. Nah, play on.
Ridiculous.
So bad.
But yeah, I'm going to vote for when a player goes down the box, it's either a penalty or it's a yellow card for diving.
Right, mine's is Falkirk now.
You're changing it to Falkirk?
Yeah, because I'm really warming myself up. I really don't like them.
So Falkirk and their lackey stands and their hot tubs and their cranes and their...
And they're just in their Peter Houston-ness and their
Right.
future Craig Levein-ness.
Right, so you're going for Falkirk.
I'm predicting they'll end up at Falkirk at one point. It just makes so much sense in my head.
Fair enough. Okay, so we will put out a poll for that on Twitter probably towards the end of the week. So keep an eye out for that. We'll put up a poll for Falkirk or diving in the box and not getting booked. So keep an eye out for that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end of the podcast. Thank you to Mickey Weir for coming on and giving his opinion.
How sounds Mickey Weir?
Sounds this guy. Like, when we interviewed him a few months ago, we stood and spoke to him for like an hour afterwards. He's just the nicest guy.
But he actually pulled his car the other night. Just tell everyone that.
Aye.
Just to speak to us, and then that was time away driving again.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely top guy. Aye. Him, like I said this before, him and Louis are probably the two nicest guys that I've met that have played for Hibs. They're just top guys. But yeah, so thanks again to Mickey. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next Monday. Unless we appoint a manager sooner, we'll do an emergency podcast sooner. We'll be back next Monday to hopefully discuss a new manager, or we'll have more of an idea who's going to get appointed. We will look at the Hibs ladies game on the Sunday. I'm planning to head to that so I can give us a report on that, and we will we'll do something special. We'll add in a fourth sort of thing because it's an international break. It's always fun to do something different. We'll definitely get a quiz in there as well.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Well, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next Monday.
Pass me another.